Good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is David Okun. I've been talking about the cost of living, and I'm talking about Jeff Bezos. I'm talking about Amazon. Jeff Bezos owns Amazon, and I've been talking about Jeff Bezos in different ways. There are different elements to Jeff Bezos, how he creates wealth, and the reason I'm talking about him. I've been talking about him in different videos, and I'll talk about him because he knows how to create wealth. So, and if you learn about him, if you try to do what he does, you will be able to create wealth because if he's a human being, and if he is a human being and you are a human being, it means you can create wealth if he creates wealth. I'm not saying it's going to be easy in life. Nothing is easy, and I would say that uh, going forward now, you need to start thinking what you need to do specifically to make money. You can do your day job if you have a job. Keep your work and work as hard as you can, and save your money. If you need to save your money for emergency, manage, learn every skill. I mean, you can come to YouTube, you can go online and learn every skill you need: financial skill, money skill, how to manage debt, how to maximize your income, and also how to do little things here, little things there. If you know how to do crafts and things, do that. Go online. Set up what do you call it? Website. Sell things online. Learn how to sell things online. You can make money. You don't need to get rich. You only need to get out of poverty. I mean, if you're lucky, you can get rich. I know it's very competitive. The market is very competitive, but everybody can gain access to 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 wealth. You may gain access to wealth. You may not get wealthy, but if you try your best, you can make some money and get out of poverty. Your aim should be to get out of poverty. But once you're out of poverty, there potentially you can be rich. But like I said, you don't need to be rich really to be happy. You can be happy even if you are poor, even if you're living in poverty. But what people need to know actually is that they are poor when they are really working for a living. That's the meaning of poverty. It doesn't mean that you should. I mean, you may be earning 100,000, 200,000 pounds per annum. If you still have to work for a living and you don't have a property, you may be poor in terms of access to housing. Poverty comes in all shapes and sizes. Some people are actually energy poor, food poverty. You see, sometimes if you are sick, if you fall sick and you have to really fall into a financial crisis because you're sick, then your poverty. You're living in poverty. Because if you are rich, even if you are sick, because you don't have to work for a living, then you concentrate on accessing healthcare. But there's a problem with healthcare also under the current system because the government is actually changing the system. It's withdrawing help from public health, from medicine, and actually that means poor people, actually 90% of the population, will not be able to access healthcare. And I've been saying this over and over again, and some people think I'm actually repeating myself. Yes, I am. Because if there is a point need repeating, then actually the point of poverty need to be really clarified. And if you want to listen to the government, listen to what they say. My advice to you is that do not listen to anything you hear on the media, on the main media, including YouTube, actually, social media also. If I say something to you, think about it. It doesn't matter if you are actually an adult or you're a young person. You're on your own. Capitalism is like a jungle. Capitalism is like a jungle. And I've said this in the other videos. I'll watch the videos. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe, support it. If you like what you hear, a lot of people say my channel is educational, and I'm happy about that. I will continue sharing what I think what I know with you, be engaged with the channel as much as you can, and it's a good space to actually change, because we live in a world of information. We are in the information age. If you want to succeed, if you want to survive, if you want to stay alive, you have to have knowledge. You need to be reading. Wherever you go, even if you go onto the street, even if you go abroad on holiday, use that as a spot of entertainment. Entertain yourself, be happy as much as you want. But every little opportunity, whatever it is, make sure you use it as an opportunity to learn something. You gain knowledge from life, gain knowledge from education, gain knowledge from the cost of living as a problem, gain knowledge from every situation you find yourself in. It is important for you, it's important. Learn how to deal with stress, learn how to deal with depression, learn how to deal with anxiety. Get help if you can, but you are the primary source of help for yourself, for your life. And this is the meaning of living under a capitalistic system. You live under a capitalism, you are an individual. We are not necessarily a society unless we are. And social media can be used for different things. I chose social media to share important messages as I think, as I believe them to be important. Because your life is in your hand and you look after yourself. If you want somebody else to look after yourself, fine. Get somebody to look after yourself. But if you don't find somebody to look after yourself, look after yourself. Even especially if you're a young person. A lot of some young people are now leaving home. They don't want to live with their parents. They don't want their parents to tell them what to do. But that is human nature. We tell other people what to do. And it is also human nature to rebel against authority. Your parents are actually a form of authority. Your instinct as a human being is to break free, to rebel against your parents. And if you are actually an adult, your instinct is to rebel against the government or any form of authority. Even a child, if they seem to be an authority over you, you begin to behave funny. We are rebellious by nature. But also, we yearn for freedom. But capitalism is about rule. Capitalism is an instrument designed by the ruling class. Some people are called the middle class. If you're the middle class, you're on your way to becoming a ruler. The ruling class, the upper class, 10%. So 90% middle class and the lower class. Lower class are actually the ones who are actually ruled over more than even the middle class. So you need to be aware of these things. It's the real world. They may not be nice, but make it nice. Make it nice if you can. If something is not nice, the cost of living is not nice. It's not like I'm going to talk about the cost of living all the time. Life is more than the cost of living. There is a lot of things to do with your life. You can cook, you can walk in the park, you can go on holiday, you can go and meet your friend, you can play guitar, play instrument, you can learn how to play instrument. Do something with your life. As long as you can afford the cost. That's the bottom line. Learn how to manage cost. The more you do, life, if you want to succeed, work. If somebody told you that you're going to succeed by not working, then listen to me only. Don't listen to anybody else. Only listen to me. If you want to succeed, listen to only to me. If all the rest of the world is telling you you can succeed if you don't work, then stop listening to them. If you want to succeed, listen to me. You have to work. You can have the best of ideas. If you don't put it into practice, you will fail. And if you fail, you're going to suffer more than you're suffering. Especially if you're a young person, you will suffer in a way you will regret. You may end up into prison, you may end up on the street, and you may die on the street. The street is getting riskier and riskier. There are knives, there are guns, there are gangs on the street, and go there at your own risk. Know what you're doing. If you're going onto the street, know what you're doing. I'm saying this because some people think the government is there to help you. The police are not there to help you. The police are there to arrest you. If you commit an offense, that's what the police is for. The law is there to prosecute you or to punish you. That's what the law does. Don't think that the government is there to do anything nice to you. The government is to watch over you and rule over you. And you're going to do nothing about it. All you have to do is actually learn to survive. Learn, have a skill to survive. Maybe one day, your great-great-great-grandchildren will be free. In any part of the world, freedom is a myth. Because if you have to work for a living, if you have to grow your own food or go and work to get money to buy food and energy, if you have to work in any way for a living, you're not free. You have to get up in the morning and work all day, come back in the evening, cook, work some more, do something. That is not freedom. Freedom is a myth. Freedom does not exist. It only exists for people who do not work. Even the rich are not really free. The super rich who do not need to work for a living are not free because they have to think about their money. They worry in case they lose their position. Rich people worry about their wealth. I saw it with Jeff Bezos. That's why I'm talking about Jeff Bezos. To actually trying to look at how rich people behave. They are not so different from us. People like Jeff Bezos are really like from another planet until you begin to learn one or two about them. That's why I chose them. I chose poverty, and now I'm choosing wealth to compare the two. One factor is common between the rich and the poor. It's that they're human. Rich people can become poor. Poor people can also become rich. It doesn't matter how rich you are, you can lose all your wealth. I've been actually going through the process of Jeff Bezos and Amazon and all the other programs he's involved with. And if you watch the other videos, and I'm trying to connect Jeff Bezos with all the other topics I've been discussing about the cost of living. When I talk about Amazon, when I talk about Jeff Bezos, I talk about the cost of living. And I've been doing that going forward. I don't know where this will lead us, but the plan is there. But we'll take it one day at a time. And I'm going to look at a material in which it is actually telling us about Jeff Bezos' personal life, how he lives with women, how he lives with children, how he lives his life, private life. It's not going to be in detail, but I will go through the material. There is a lady called Lauren Sanchez. Lauren Sanchez. And Jeff Bezos was having an affair with her, rather. Jeff Bezos at that time was married to a lady called Mackenzie Scott. Her name was Mackenzie. She's now divorced. They divorced in 2019, in January 2019. Jeff Bezos and his wife, then Mackenzie Scott, released a joint statement which revealed that they would be getting divorced after 25 years together. So the reason is not clear, but associated with Jeff Bezos having an affair with Lauren Sanchez. And subsequently, National Enquirer revealed that Bezos had an affair with media personality Lauren Sanchez. The affair with Sanchez had lasted for months. An affair is a extramarital relationship which people do. Sometimes they do privately, sometimes probably. Leave a comment below if you know anything about having an affair. Later, Bezos published an online essay on February 7th, 2019, in which he accused American media, in corporation owner David Pecker, of extortion and blackmail for threatening to publish intimate photos of Bezos and current girlfriend Lauren. Sanchez if he did not stop his investigation into his text message, uh, 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 if he did not stop his investigation into how his text messages and other photos have been leaked to the National Enquirer. The National Enquirer is actually an online material, an online platform. Media reports have accused Sanchez's brother Michael of being the source of the photos obtained by National Enquirer. However, Bezos has speculated that it may have been the Saudi Arabian government. So there's a lot of confusion there involving the Saudi Arabian government. I think there is conspiracy and into Jeff Bezos, involving Jeff Bezos' personal life, and that led to him getting a divorce from his wife, I think. And we talk about personal life of Jeff Bezos. When we look at him, he looks like the president of the United States of America, and he sits on a chair, for example, with microphone in his hand, and a US flag at the back of his head, and he looks presidential. And Jeff Bezos is a ruler of the world under the capitalism. He rules over the world, and looking at this material here on Jeff Bezos in 2017, in 1992, Bezos was working for D.E. Shaw in Manhattan when he met novelist Mackenzie Tuttle, who was a research associate at the firm. The couple married a year later. So Mackenzie is his wife. They met in 1992. And Bezos was working for D.E. Shaw in Manhattan when he met novelist Mackenzie Tuttle, who was a research associate at the firm. The couple married a year later. So it was actually love at first sight, I would suppose. And they did very well. They did so many good things together. In 1994, they moved across the country to Seattle, Washington, where Bezos founded Amazon. So Amazon actually was founded in Seattle, Washington. In Seattle, Washington. If you know Seattle, Washington, leave a comment below. And Bezos and his ex-wife, Mackenzie, are parents of 4 children, and 3 sons and 1 daughter adopted from China. So they adopted a daughter from China, and Bezos and Mackenzie have not disclosed their religious status. They're probably Catholics. Catholics tend to be secretive, and they are very disciplined. Catholics actually are very disciplined. I'm Anglican anyway, but I admire Catholicism and their zeal for faith and how disciplined they are. They are, in compared to Anglicans. I think Catholics are more successful in the world than. Leave a comment below what you think about Anglicanism and Catholics. I'm Anglican, but I have a lot of respect for Catholicism. Public record, family history, and biological details suggest that both were raised under some form of Christianity. This is actually material showing that within the public records or involving Jeff Bezos, they were actually the family history material and biographical detail suggesting that both Jeff Bezos and his wife, ex-wife Mackenzie, were at some point they were raised under some form of Christianity. When you talk about Christianity as a faith, it's divided into Anglicanism and Roman Catholicism in the fundamental sense of the word. In March 2003, Bezos was a passenger in a helicopter that crashed in West Texas while surveying land to buy for Blue Origin. Blue Origin is actually Jeff Bezos' pet project for exploring space. And the other three occupants in the helicopter were pilot Charles Cheetah Bella, Amazon lawyer Elizabeth Coral, and local rancher Ty Holland. So we had eventful experiences. All survived. Bezos sustained only a minor injury and was discharged from a local hospital in the same day. Bezos portrayed a Starfleet official in the 2016 movie Star Trek Beyond and joined the cast and crew at a San Diego Comic Con screening. San Diego Comic Con screening, playing a movie in 2016. This is his personal life. We're looking at his personal life, how he lived his life, his life in private, as a person, and the things he does, including participating in movies. He had lobbied Paramount for the role proposed of Alexa, and his personal professional interest in speech recognition. Leave a comment below if you know anything about speech recognition, with Jeff Bezos actually has a personal and a professional interest in speech recognition. If you speak, somebody knows you are the one speaking. It's like an identifier. If you speak to a door, speak to your car, the car will know you are the one speaking and open the door or the engine for you. That's an example of speech recognition technology. This is the kind of thing being of interest to Jeff Bezos. His online consisted of a response to an alien in distress. Speak normally. So is one line consisted of a response to an alien in distress. Speak normally. So he was an actor or other playing a supporting role in an area of interest. Space, alien, spacecraft, space travel. That is actually the thing about Blue Origin, involving space travel and space exploration. Jeff Bezos actually believed the Earth should be emptied of people. People should be taken into space, and the Earth should be left as a national park. Leave a comment below if you think the Earth should be left to the animals or other creatures, and humans should be removed and taken into space. In his initial discussion of the project, which became Alexa, with his technical advisor Greg Hart in 2011, Bezos told him that the goal was to create the Star Trek computer. Star Trek computer would be a computer functioning to support certain roles, and Alexa. If you know anything about Alexa, it's a project. This is a project which actually involve Jeff Bezos' personal life. He's involved in this thing, in his life, with other people who helps him. Bezos Family Corporation, Jeffram LLC, is named after Zefram Cochrane, a character from Star Trek. There is a character from Star Trek, the movie, the program, and the character is called, one of the characters is Jeffram Cochrane, and one of Jeff Bezos' family corporation was named after him, Zefran LLC, being named after Zefran Cochrane, a character from Star Trek. So this actually illustrates Jeff Bezos some of his passion for all things space. On January 9, 2019, Jeff Bezos, McKinsey announced on Twitter their intent to divorce after a long period of separation. On April 4th, 2019, the divorce was finalized, with Bezos keeping 75% of the couple's Amazon stock and McKinsey getting the remaining 25%, which is actually amounting to 35,000 billion US dollar in Amazon stock. So they shared the stock of Amazon. They were shareholders. And at divorce in 2019, this was actually split. His wife, former wife, Mackenzie, taking 25% of the stock, amounting to 35.6 billion in American stock. This was said that he made his wife one of the richest, I think the third richest in the world woman. Well, it's a man's world still, even including where people are wealthy. Most wealthy people are actually men. So his wife is doing very well for a woman in what is essentially a man's world still, and capitalism being really the steel behind global rule. However, Bezos would keep all of the couple's voting rights. If you have voting rights, that is the boardroom politics you dominate. That brings us to the next aspect of Jeff Bezos' life. We look at politics, his involvement in politics. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi presenting the USIBS Global Leadership Award to Bezos in Washington, D.C. on June 7, 2016. He interacts with the good and the great of the world of politics, men and women, and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson meeting with Jeff Bezos during the United Nations General Assembly in New York City on September the 20th, 2021. So he is all over the place with the great in the group, Donald Trump, Barack Obama. He is one of the ruling elites on the private echelon of the spectrum of global rule. According to public campaign finance records, Bezos supported the electoral campaign of Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell, two Democrats, U.S. senators from Washington. So he probably supports Democrats anyway. He's a nice man. I'm a Democrat myself, although I'm in Britain. There's some of the Democratic big wig are actually my brothers from another mother, or my sisters from another mother. And I think Democrats are better than Republicans because Democrats actually pay more attention to social welfare, helping the poor more than the conservatives, who are actually promoting it as an extreme form of capitalism. So he has also supported Democrats, U.S. Representative John Conyers, as well as Patrick Leah, and Republican Spencer Abraham, U.S. senators serving on committee dealing with internet-related issues. So we can see that he supports individual politicians from both parties the Republicans and the Democrats alike, his interest is not really normal politics. Is neither democratic or conservatives. He leans where his interest, his business and personal interest lies. Internet is his interest. Is a technocrat in the classical sense. He's a scientist. He's an inventor. He's a technologist, industrialist, investor. Name it. Jeff Bezos is not a multi-billionaire accidentally. He has conquered many territories in commerce, in politics, and you name it. Jeff Bezos and Mackenzie Bezos have supported the legislation of same-sex marriage, and in 2012 contributed 2.5 million US dollar to Washington United for marriage, a group supporting a yes vote on Washington referendum 74, which affirmed a same-sex marriage law enacted in the state. Bezos donated $100,000 towards a movement against a Washington state income tax in 2010 for top earners. So he defends things like same-sex marriage. He actually donate money to movement against a Washington state income tax in 2010 for top earners. He doesn't want top earners to pay tax. So he actually support campaigners who actually campaign against top earners having to pay country tax. In 2012, he donated to Amazon's Political Action Committee PAC, which has given 56,000 and 74,500 to Democrats and Republicans respectively. After the 2016 presidential election, Bezos was invited to join Donald Trump's Defense Innovation Advisory Board, an advisory council to improve the technology used by the Defense Department. So he was actually involved in Donald Trump presidential election campaign. There was part of the team. His interest was actually defense, in innovation. He actually joined the Defense Innovation Advisory Board, an advisory council to improve the technology used by the Defense Department. So technology is his passion, and he accesses government and powerful forums to actually influence defense policy, and also helping to determine the direction, the content, and the context of investment in technology, defense technology. And Trump has repeatedly attacked Bezos via Twitter, accused Bezos of avoiding corporate taxes, gaining undue political influence, and undermining his presidency by speaking fake news. So Donald Trump is your friend today. He himself is a multi-billionaire. He's worth about $4 billion. Donald Trump. He was a businessman before becoming US president. So he makes friends on his own terms. And if you like what he says, he's your friend. If you don't like what he says, become your enemy. He can sing your praises today, tomorrow he'll be singing your curses. Or even, shouting your curses. In 2014, Amazon won a bid for a cloud computing contract with the CIA valued at $600 million US. So he worked for the CIA. Actually, he had a contract with the CIA, Secret Intelligence Agency of America. In 2018, $10 billion contract known as the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure JEDI project, this time with the Pentagon, was allegedly written up in a way that favors Amazon. So there is prejudices, there is favors, and a 10 billion US contract contract loan is the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure JEDI project. This time with the Pentagon. Pentagon is actually uh, the central nerve center of United States of America defense system, the defense governance institution. And the allegation was that it was written in a way to favor Amazon. I don't know in what way. Controversy over this was raised when General James Millett Mattis accepted a headquarters tour invitation from Bezos and coordinated the deal through Sally Donnelly, a lobbyist who previously worked for Amazon. So this is some of his activity, industrial, political, research, investment, technological, and there are one controversy after another. And in November 2019, when the contract was awarded to Microsoft instead, Amazon filed a lawsuit with allegations that the bidding process was biased. So he was not given the contract somehow. This was way back in 2019 when Donald Trump was president. I think he had fallen out with Donald Trump, president of America. And on July the 6th, 2021, the Pentagon canceled the JEDI contract with Microsoft, citing that due to evolving requirements, increased cloud convergency, and industrial advances, the JEDI cloud contract no longer meets its needs. For whatever reason, the JEDI Pentagon-based originated contract was cancelled with Microsoft, and there were said to be evolving requirements, and there was also said to be increased cloud convergency, and there were also said to be industrial advances. And it was also said the JEDI contract, cloud contract, no longer meets its needs. So it was relevant. So it was whatever happened within the state always happens. And despite Bezos' support for an open borders policy towards immigrants, Amazon has actively marketed facial recognition softwares to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Facial recognition, spying equipment. If you pass via the borders or anywhere, it depends where the facial recognition, whether it's at the traffic light, whether it is at the office, whether it is in space. Of course, it can be set actually. Things like that can be set in the. That's why they send satellite into space. Facial recognition software and equipment is spying material. So Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, got this software from Bezos. Bezos expressed sympathy for immigrants, but he actually provides material software to spy on immigrants and actually support the state to be more effective at catching illegal immigrants or whoever. In 2019, a political action committee linked to Jeff Bezos spent over $1 million in an unsuccessful attempt to defeat the re-election bid of Seattle City Council member and activist Kishama Sawant. Kishima Sawant was standing on a lot of money in 2019 during the Trumpian years as in the presidency of the U.S. A political action committee linked to Jeff Bezos. They spent over $1 million in an unsuccessful attempt to defeat the re-election bid of Seattle City Council member and activist Shama Sawant. They didn't like him, and only Jeff Bezos and his alliance can explain why they didn't like that candidate. So, on November the 22nd, 2021, Jeff Bezos donated 100,000 million to the Obama Foundation to help expand the scope of programming that reaches emerging leaders, and requested that Obama Presidential Center Plaza to be named after John Lewis. So he had a bit of friendship with Barack Obama, a brother from another mother, so to speak. Obama is from Africa, from East Africa, from Kenya. He's a Jaluo man, just like me. So literally, he's a brother from another mother. So proud of Barack Obama because he makes me proud, and it makes me into somebody. Who would have thought the Luo people could rule America? And we did. For my part, I have a bragging right. Barack Obama was ruling America. The Luo people of Kenya. I'm the Luo person from Uganda. So we are so proud of Barack Obama. And I kind of like Jeff Bezos because he is my kind of guy, helping a brother from another mother, Barack Obama. So on November 22nd, 2021, Jeff Bezos donated 100 million US dollar to the Obama Foundation. Obama Foundation is very active, something worth looking at, to help expand the scope of programming that reaches emerging leaders, and requested the Obama Presidential Center Plaza, Presidential Center Plaza, to be named after John Lewis. So they are doing some good work with Barack Obama. Barack Obama Foundation is still there to this day, and they're doing really prospering. What goes around comes around. So we're talking to end this video. If you have been watching up to now, please subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. If you like this channel, please subscribe and leave a comment below, and carry on supporting this channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.